Hi everyone, it's week number 117. So we're building up the numbers slowly and continue with the discussion on the use of the gansao action in Chi Sau practice. I first wanted to come to the Muk Yan Jong and show how we normally do it on the dummy, just to remind you what the Wong Sin Leung Wing Chun Kun approach is before we demonstrate it on a person. So normally in the wooden dummy form, if we do a gansao action, we usually follow up with a counter action on the other side, because the main use of the hand in the dummy is if you've made a mistake, you need to recover. It can be done on both sides, and in the dummy it is done on both sides, and it's mostly done on the right hand. So in the majority of situations, we finish with that at the end of a section that we're doing in the form. The thing about the dummy, without going into a great amount of detail, is that these arms aren't always representing what they obviously appear, which is a right arm and a left arm. They in fact could be a right arm or a left arm, and this might be the outside or the inside, and this might be the outside or the inside. So at any given time within the dummy form, the arms can represent a variety of possibilities, and sometimes you have to even imagine that one arm isn't there. But we can't physically remove the arms in the middle of the form, and I haven't seen a dummy invented yet where the arms disappear and come back. So you just have to use your imagination. But given that, if I ask Gundat to come in and help me, what this is representing is normally this is this arm and this is this arm. Not that, because nobody's going to stand there like that. But in this case, when I do the gansao action, whether it's this side or this side, what it represents here is that I haven't done it what we'd say as correctly on the outside. I've in fact gotten caught on the inside. So this arm, when I started, is the inside arm, and that's the danger hand. That's coming. It might be going high, it might be going low. I can't afford to stay here. I'm already not facing my enemy, and I'm exposing a whole side of my body. So within the dummy form, what I'm learning to do is get to the other side so I can counter. And the follow-up involves striking him as a natural consequence. If he's poking around with his hands and I'm not sure where to get in, I don't want to come down the middle and receive that one, or come down here and get hit with that one. So what Wong Sin Leung taught us to do is use gansao to break that structure so we can move in. When you do it in the chisao action, you are also basically trying to break his structure and turn him off the center. And if you want to get really good at this, then the best way to train it is on the wooden dummy. So the best part to do it, apart from the normal actions that occur at the end of each section, or just about every section, in the very last section of the wooden dummy, we have this continuous version. Now it's 3 actions in the form, but you can do it half an hour or an hour if you want to. What this is doing is increasing your connection between your core, your elbows, and your wrist. Notice I'm not chopping wood. A lot of Wing Chun families will do it more like that, and it becomes eventually going across, which is very dangerous. What I'm focusing on is sending a hand back to hit. So I want to stay in contact and hit. So within the chisao, if I've trained on that for a while and built up that connection, when I do the action in chisao, I can apply the very same core strength, and that's a very powerful entry. So if you want to build up your gansao action, best friend is this guy, second best friend is your training partner within chisao. That brings us to an end of the basic 5 entries that we talked about. In the next video, we'll discuss some of the little variations that are possible, but like I said when we started this topic, we don't want to have 200, 300, 500 different ways to attack. Too confusing and unnecessary. So Sifu Wong Sin Leung taught 5 basic ways, but within application you might discover little variations that work for you, that are particularly good for you. And we also have a few little bonus exercises that he taught us for variations on the theme. More on that in the next episode.